Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss the first 3 problems from the latest Lead Code Weekly Contest 205. So let's start. The first problem name is replace all question marks to avoid consecutive repeating characters. So in this question you are given some input string such that the string consists of lowercase alphabets and also some question marks. So you have to change these question marks with some another character. You have to insert a character instead of this question mark such that all the consecutive characters after replacing this question mark with some other characters, every consecutive characters is different. Okay, and it is given that it can also always happen, like the input is such that it can always happen, it is guaranteed to be happen. And also you cannot replace the character which are which are already present. You can only replace the characters which are question marks. So that's what you're gonna do. In this question you can replace this question mark with a, and every consecutive character is different. So the main trick in this question can be I have used a very simple logic to do this. Let's first, what you can do, you can only change the question mark now. So what you can do, let's assume that this is a blank, this is a, and this is z. Okay, and let's assume that you have some more blanks and this is k. So what you can do, first fill all these blanks with the character. Okay, and the character can be a, b, c, d. Keep on just filling it in this manner from left to right without taking care of whether the consecutive characters are same or not. Okay, so let's assume that, and if we go beyond z, if there are, let's assume 1000 characters, if you start filling a, b, c, d and then go to z and then again fill with a, b and so on. So let's start filling this. It is a, then b, c and d. Okay, but now we had made one string, but now our main thing is, if we have some string, I have to update only these positions such that the string become different. So what you can see here is, now again iterate over the string from left to right. Whenever you found a string which is initially question mark, and you check that okay, whether its left or right character are different or same. If it's same, just increment this character by 1, so make it b. So because they are same, just increment this character by making it b, and now they are different. So let's move forward. Now we come to b. We check its left character, it is different. Check its right character, it is different. So we don't need to change it. Now check that okay, both characters are different, both characters are different, both characters are different, and we have found the answer. Okay, there can also be a case as that okay, this is b, this is a, this is a. So if we come from left to right and we have updated the string as a, now you will check this with this string, so it will become b. So what you can understand from this logic is, it can happen that it can become b with one iteration, because I am just checking for left. So what you can do, you can again cross check it or double check it by doing again iteration from left to right, and if you again find that two characters are same, again update that character, so it will become ca. But after 2 iterations it always possible, because there are only 2 sides to check, a and left and right. If after doing 1 iteration maybe left has increased such that it can equate to become equivalent to b, the previous one, so we will also double check it, and then after 2 checks it's 100% sure that the left and right are different. So that's the whole logic I have done here. Make an empty string and then fill all the characters in that position of question mark with, if it is not a question mark, just insert this in a new string. If it is a question mark, what you will do, you will insert it with k, because k is incrementing 0, 1, 2, 3, we mod it to 26 such that if we go beyond z we will come back to it, and then that's what we are doing to increment the new character in place of question mark in this position and incrementing k. Then this is OK function. What this OK function will check, it will check that whether 2 consecutive characters are not same. We will do a double check on this, as you can see, and storing the answer in t and then returning t. What this function is doing, take the input of t and s, iterate over from left to right. Whenever we see a question mark, we will check that okay, whether its left character exists, and if it exists, whether they are same. If they are same, what we will do, we will update the ith character by 1 position. This is the thing what we can do. We will extract out the index of that ith character, mod it to 26 and add it again to it, convert it to typecast it to character, and then change it to t. Then we also check it for the right part and do the same thing. We just iterate over from left to right, check whether it is a question mark in the S string. If it is a question mark, we will check that in the T string which is formed, whether they are same, because I have sent S for the reference to know where there is a question mark. If there is a question mark in the S string, okay, this character can only be changed. So what you will do, you will check the left and right character in the T, because T is a new string. If they are same, just increment the ith character, because that character can only be changed. And we will do this 2 times, and then like the answer is T. That's the first question. It's very simple. Second question is also good, in which you are given 2 array num1 and num2, and you have to find out the number of triplets. The total number of triplet types. There are 2 types of triplet 1 and triplet 2. The first triplet is, choose any ith number from num1 array. If you just square it, it is equal to any like 2 characters or 2 indices in nums2, j and k indices. If you multiply both of these indices, so I'll tell you how it's actually going. It is actually mean that if you have 2 arrays, let's assume that you have 5 in this, and like 5, 6, 7 characters in this. So for every character in I, you will choose 2 indices such that the multiplication of these 2 indices is equal to the square of these indices. And we will do this for type 1, and same the reverse means that for every index in every indexes in j, so that I will choose this index. I will choose 2 indices in the first array such that the multiplication of these 2 indices or the number of these indices is equal to this number. So that's the whole question part. I have to find out this. Now the main thing in this is, like, maybe the constraints are very small. Like, you might think that okay, I can do a like O of n cube solution for every position in this. For every position in the ith or in the first array, what you can do here is, I will iterate over for every position. I will check that okay, whether a pair exists in this. So for a pair exists, we will do an O of n square in this, and for every character in the first array, I will do an O of n. And like, we will do this for the first array comparing the second array, and also for the second array comparing the first array. So it's 2 into O of n cube, which is like O of n cube. But the thing is, for doing this, if in O of n cube, the size of the array should be up to 100, because 100 to the power of 3 is 10 to the power 6, which is roughly equal to the like operations we can do in a second. But if it's 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 3 whole 3 means 10 to the power 9 operations, and that much operations we cannot do in a second. So it means that we have to do only O of n square iterations to find out this. Now how we can do that in n square iterations? The main thing in this question is, because in the first array, let's assume that this is the first array and this is the second array, we have to find out a pair in the second array. Okay, but what we know here is, for every pair, let's assume that this is 3 and this is like 5. If we multiply in the second array, let's assume that we are iterating for every element in the second array, we take this pair, which is 3 into 5. Now what I have to check here is whether 15 is a like 15 is not a whole square. Let's assume that it is 3. If it is 3, then it is equal to 9. I have to find that for 9 there must be an element which is 3 square in this. So if there is an element which is 3, then that element squared is equal to the multiplication of these 2 elements. So that's pretty cool. So what you can see here is, I actually have to take any element in the first array, then square it. Okay, and then I have to find out whether any 2 elements in this array is equivalent to this. So what you can do, first iterate over the whole array, the first array from left to right, and store in a map all the elements n square value. So like for any of the elements I square value, like first, second, third, fourth, store it in a map, and then do an O of n square iteration in this array, and then check that okay, if this is a pair, how many elements are there which is equivalent to this I square value in the original position. Let's assume that there are 3 ones. So what you can see, if you take this pair like which is equal to 9, then for this pair there are 3 positions in which we will form a triplet, because if I take this I and these two pair, it will form a triplet. For this I, both of these will form a triplet. And so what you can do, store them in some map, and then for every O of n square iteration for every other array, we will check that okay, can I form a pair, and how many like numbers are there in the original array, which will form a pair and a triplet with this pair. So that's the whole logic for the second question. What you can do, because we are doing transfers like for the first array and the second array, and just reverse it. So I have make a OK function such that I don't have to write it long code. So what you can take, the first array, this OK function will take the num1 array and then the num2 array and then reverse it, and the OK function will return how many triplets are there, and then we'll add it to the total and return total. In this OK function, what you'll do, take the inputs of both of the vectors, find out their like length towards the total number of triplets there, then make a map for log, iterate over the first, because for the first vector iterate over its length, find out for the square of every value in the nums1. What you will do, update its value in a map, and then what you will do, make an O of n square iteration in the second vector, and what you will do for the second iteration, we will find out the value of every pair in the second vector, and if this value is equivalent to any of the value in the first vector which is stored in this map, we will increment our total, how many like values are there in the first vector which is equivalent to this pair, and we will update our total. So that's the logic for the second question. Let's move on to the third question now. Third question is also very good, in which you state that we have to find out the minimum deletion cost to avoid repeating letters. What does this mean? You are given some string and the cost of deletion some characters. If you delete some characters, you are given a cost of deleting some characters, and then what you'll do, you will delete some characters such that you will incur the minimum cost, and after deletion there is no consecutive characters which are saved. What does this mean? Like you delete this A which is of cost 3, this A. If you delete this, what will happen? The final string will become like this, in which no two characters are saved. So you have to delete one character at a cost of 3. So you have to return out 3. What is the minimum cost you have to take such that you delete out some characters, and in the end the remaining string doesn't have any consecutive characters, and you have to incur a minimum cost to delete all those characters. Okay, the main thing you have to observe in this question is, first I thought to use a stack, because in such type of question when you delete some characters, as you can see, let's assume that you have this string. If you delete this A, then what you will do, this B will stick to this and it will form a new string in which BB will come like close to each other, and then I have to take care of that case also. But you closely observe that it doesn't need a stack. Why? Because if I delete somehow this A also, then it is not a beneficial to delete this A, because it is separating two different characters now. So in this, because like this string already has no two consecutive characters, so we don't do anything. But let's assume that I have this A, B, B, then C, D, E. Okay, now what you can observe here is, if I want to find, like if I remove this character, then also there are two consecutive A's. So I have to remove two consecutive A's, or like two A's, such that only one A is remaining in this. Now in these B's, if I delete any one B, then also there are two B's consecutive. So I have to remove two B's, and then in this C's I have to remove all the two C's, one C is remaining, and D and E are okay. So what does this mean? That okay, I have to find a continuous stretch of alphabets which are same, but do I remove all the first characters? Like if I have like C like 5 times C, and if I remove the first 4 characters, then it's good. I remove these first 2 characters and only one C is remaining. But no, the main thing here is we have to reduce the cost. So what you can see, let's assume that this C is having the minimum cost to remove, but these C's have 5 cost to remove. So I have to find out the minimum cost. Now why I just remove all these C's? I can remove the last 4 C's, it's benefit. So it will like reduce the cost. So what you can do? You can find out a consecutive same characters and their cost, and then sort them out, and just take all the characters except the one which is the take all the characters except the maximum one, because you don't do the maximum. Just like if you have a cost of 5 for you have 5 C's, okay, and last one is 1. You have to remove such that the cost is minimum. So what you can do, you will take out, you will like sort this whole array, and after sorting, take the first 4, like remaining the last one don't take it, because we have to leave at least one character there. So take out the first 4 characters, like the length minus 1 characters, and that's the answer. And do it for every same character length, okay, and then just remain 1 character. If it's only 1 character, then don't do anything. So that's the logic for the third question. I'll take it on to the code part. So what you can do here is, for a buffer value, because I have to end somewhere else, I will insert a dummy character hash at the end, because I have to add a character which doesn't occur in this whole string, because it consists of all the characters from like A to like small characters. So I will insert a, you can insert a big character or some hash, whatever you want, and also a dummy variable, a minus like any number you don't want, some number in the end also. Then what you can do, store the length of this cost and the string. Then what you can do, this is a vector A which will store the consecutive cost of the same characters. If there are same character AA, what is the cost for them? So this is the vector for A. Iterate over from the first 0 till m stores the length of the string. Okay, for the first character you will always push back the cost of I. Then for the other characters, what you will check that, okay, whether the ith character is equal to the I minus 1 character, which means that, okay, this character, ith character is equal to the last character which I have seen. So yes, it is forming a continuous stretch, so keep on adding the cost in this vector. So I will keep on adding the cost in this vector. After that, whenever we reach a state in which now we are going from A, they are same, B is not same. So now we have incurred a consecutive cost, a consecutive like a vector which stores all the costs which are same, or the characters which are same. So what you can have to do, we will sort out this vector so that I will find out the total cost for all the same characters. And then what you will do, you will add all the characters. So what you actually do here is, so let's assume that you have this cost for all the 5 C's. So what you will do, you will sort out them, then add all the total means if you add all the cost you will do to like delete all the characters, you will add all these numbers, but you have to just not take the last character, take all the characters except the last cost. So that's what I'm doing. Total, in the total final answer, how many like total cost it will take, add, accumulate means adding all the cost in this A vector, okay, and then you just remove out the last position, remove it out. And then what you will do, after removing out the last character, you will empty the character, like the vector which you have taken, because now we have this whole sequence of same characters is ended. So we will start afresh from the new character. So first clear it out, and then because I am on the ith point, I have taken the ith point. So let's assume that I am moving from left to right. I have encountered A, and then I encountered B. So now what you have seen here is, I have find out a stretch of A, but now I am on a character I which is different. So I have to push that character in the vector also. So after doing all this, push back the ith cost in the vector and go on so on. And then answer is the total, which is the total answer of all the iterations we have, or the total cost of removing the characters is in this answer. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code. The last problem is also coming. It's based on DSU, so I am making a separate video on it because it will become very large. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. If you have still many doubts, please mention on the comment box. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.